this timber line looks good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it looks like there could be a defined ditch going.
Uh-oh. There we go.
That's a group of them.
That's some bait right there, at least, right on this timber edge. Yeah, there's a freaking pile of fish right here. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Jimmy, there they are. Look at those fish.
Timber.
Right on that ditch.
Is that rock right there?
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, right on this timber edge. There's a really nice defined, I mean, right there is just gassed with fish right there. We're gonna mark that really fast. One second, Jimmy, I'm gonna grab the rest of this. Jimmy's already about to start casting. Now, I wanna show you guys this ditch really quick. You can see it on that side scan view very, very clearly. There's a bunch of rock, there's bait. On these really kind of shallow wooded lakes, finding these little drains or little creeks that run through is super helpful. And you can also see behind me here, there's a little bit of timber. When we get the fish, I'll show you, but there's a really defined timber edge as well here. And that just kind of calls out this channel. You can see it on the side scan. So I'm just gonna cross over this really quickly just to see if there's anything on this deal. And then we're gonna go get there. The wind is blowing right now from this direction. So I'm actually going to bring the boat back this way so that way we can fish into the wind. And as we can see, we got over this little ditch here. You can see it's a little bit shallower actually right where we are here, and then it's a little bit deeper where we marked all those fish, so it's less defined in this zone. And that's why I kind of like to graph this stuff before we just jump up and fish, because it kind of gives us an area we can focus on. So I think we're coming just up to where that group of fish was, and there's that little more defined ditch. You can see on the side scan, you can see those fish that are just kind of popping on down scan 2D. Absolutely perfect. That's what we've been kind of looking for. We haven't been able to find the bait pretty much all day for the last like hour and a half, 2 hours. That's like really thick. And now you can start to see it very clearly on that side scan view, and you can see all those fish. I would have caught a fish. Jimmy would have already been fishing, but I want to show you guys all this. Look at all of these fish down here. They are absolutely just loaded down here. Back on over them? Yeah, we can see them all over. Come on. Jimmy's getting excited. Okay, let's get in. We need to start fishing. Okay, so here's where you're gonna see the difference between Jimmy's fishing style and mine. He's gonna basically get on that active target and find those fish. I saw all these fish on the bottom, so my first instinct is to crankbait. You're
gonna go back to the original way we caught them.
Crankbait got all messed up here. So you can see those fish down there on that shad on the bottom, 14 foot, which those fish to me are perfect crankbait fish.
The wind.
100 feet out there.
Oh my goodness, they don't want Dixie. Oh dude, those are goods. Goods. Putting you up.
What's up?
Putting that dude down. Minnow time, and then we got the other bait next. Where'd y'all go? That one group acted like, you know, they liked the spoon. They just didn't want to commit yet.
I need to get it on these fish there in the trees.
Best thing about that rig, you just need to know you're around them.
Oh, he hammered it, dude.
Best say, you just need to know you're around them.
Come on. Oh, I pulled it too high. Dude, they were on it.
Look at that one chasing that Lil George. Come on, dude. No way. It's freaking, that's like a 5-pounder, dude. Like, these are some big fish up here. Please eat a crankbait. I left my crankbait rod in the truck because I knew Johnny would have enough. Here, I'm old school fishing now. You got to get that on camera. I'm old school fishing. I'm just gonna throw this thing and work it. I'm not
as he stares at the scope.
I'm not
old school fishing.
I'm just gonna look up here. I'm looking straight ahead at them trees. That beautiful.
Jimmy, I don't think you have it in you to old school fish anymore.
I'm beautiful, and I'm looking at them trees and that wonderful land there. I am throwing my Lil George. I'm hopping it, doing the old hop technique.
You're not used to them just not choking it, are you?
No, it takes a minute. Like that one.
Oh, there he is.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Let's get down in there. Oh yeah, big old largemouth on the Lil George.
On the Lil George.
I'm gonna try to get another one while you're doing that.
Welcome to Lake X, boys and girls. Welcome to Lake X. Ha ha ha. Old school tricks with new technology. Yeah. I'm not just a jig head minnow guy. There we go. Welcome back to Fish the Moment. This right here is a V&M, the little hammer, just a little George imitator. It's great for fishing in the fall throughout the winter. Something I've been doing on my lakes on my guide trips, and I love showing and teaching y'all stuff, guys, and that's what we're doing here today. Thank you, buddy. You said you know how it is when they don't bite.
And then bam.
And wham, just had to talk to him. Just gotta talk to him.
They're following my bait. They're not committing to it.
Which one you throwing?
The tush with the spunk shad. They keep following it. I've had like 7 follow it. They're really they're like getting around it, but they're not wanting.
I don't want to throw on you. You're over there, okay.
One just smacked it right there. Oh snap, dude. They're all over it. They just aren't committed. Dude, throw right where I'm at. Right, dude, you're about to hit one. They're about to get it.
I'm just fishing it, yeah.
Dude, there's like one just came up and tried to just smoke yours.
Oh, one just thumped it. Darn.
Yep. There's like 10 of them down there, dude. I'm watching them follow your bait. They're going crazy.
Dude, that bite's so cool on this thing too. Which, dude, I don't ever. Dude, people said they used to reel it back in the day. I don't.
Come on. Do you think these are all little ones, or like why are they not getting it?
Something there's not eating well right now. Look what's above us. It's that moon. They're gonna have to eat at some point, I think. But see, that dude had this thing choked. But yeah, I mean, there's a group of them in there fighting for it.
Yeah, I think that treble hook is the deal.
Yeah, that helps too.
Gotcha. I've been getting hit every single cast.
You think you can throw a hover rig with a smaller bait? Because they didn't want to come up, and like when I threw the minnow down there, they weren't coming up like, you know, and that's one thing, you might want this in your video. That's one thing with the minnow, I've thrown it so much, they weren't coming up and attacking it like I've known how they eat it. So I knew then we need to go to like the hover rig you're about to throw, this dude. They didn't want the spoon.
Oh, there they are, Jimmy.
Here, you threw there, I'm gonna throw to the right of you and just work this thing.
Oh, come on. Oh, there's like 4 fish on it. Come on, get one of you, eat it.
Seeing a lot of those right now. Oh, wow.
Oh, dude, they're all too small to get it. They're all too small to get it. That's the problem.
That's a better one.
A little better.
I mean, that's keeper. Keeper compared to.
That's why I like throwing that tush with the spunk shad though on these fish. It's got that core tackle tush with the spunk shad. When you're in those little ones, the smallest ones can't get it.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes a good thing. So when you're using the active target out here, guys, you don't want to just be casting every individual fish you see like this most of the time. The fish we've had bite have been the ones that have been in bigger wolf packs or groups. There's one right underneath the boat right now, but then there's a bunch of shad right there. And if you can find a wolf pack, I mean, there's right somewhere in there, looked like there was a wad. There they are. They're pushing the shad at 20 feet. Those are the fish that are a lot more catchable, though they are right in the middle of the shad and they don't look that big. But you want to find those wads of fish right there.
Yeah, and that's one thing, like, you know, I do my forward facing lessons, Johnny, I've told you, like this time of year especially, and people ask, like, I do not throw at individual fish much. Am I right there on you? I don't throw at individual fish much. I rather throw at these groups this time of year. Now in the winter, there's a time where you want to throw at bigger fish, but this time of year, they're so much easier to catch when they are competing. Am I on top of you here? When they're competing and they're in these groups. But a lot of people waste time throwing at individual fish.
There's a lot of them on my bait right now. A lot of these are small fish. We're not around the biggest groups. There's big groups of fish, but the fish aren't that big in the groups. There's a bunch of fish out here though, 100 feet, 80 feet, 100 feet.
But that side over there, we have seen bigger ones.
There's some big ones right here. See those?
Oh my gosh, yeah, those are big ones.
Oh, one just smashed it, come on. Eat my dang bait. Right there, Jimmy, those are the big ones. Get on Dixie on them. Oh, dude, they're coming for it. They're going crazy on it. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's the little guy.
Dixie in the house. That fish is the size of Dixie. How about I got the small one in the group? I mean, look, you see the tail movement on some of those? Some of those are 5-pound fish. The little ones are just like, I'm gonna get there first. Now, guys, we do not need to get hurt. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The boat's moving.
There they are. Those are big ones, dude.
Crap.
Get on them. Get it. Oh, none of them were getting it?
No.
Serious? Big one?
Good one.
Big one. Nice.
We'll take you.
That's a good one. Yeah, you could tell that school is bigger.
As that school is a lot better size quality. You can just tell they look.
You can tell that for sure. I try to get.
Oh, you're about to get in the line.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just letting you know if you feel them, don't set the hook.
We
got him. We double got him. We double caught him. We double caught him. How did that?
I'm trying to got him through the eye. What in the world? Does this count as my biggest one of the day then?
That's probably about 2 3/4 pound fish.
Yeah, it's not a bad one.
Yo, jighead minnow, guys. Yo, jighead minnow. I had to show Johnny a little bit. Ooh.
Right underneath the
But you
boat.
can tell clearly like those were
Better fish.
those were 2 to 4
sure.
pound fish. So sweet, sweet. Guys, there we go. Hey, one thing though I will say, this is a 1/4 ounce head, guys, that I'm using. I'm doing a loop knot. If you can see it right there. If Johnny wants me to talk about it later, I will, on the old minnow setup.
Oh yeah.
And Johnny had me mention it in a on his podcast, how I am a right-hander.
Oh
It helps
yeah.
with the shake.
The minnow shaking.
It helps with the shake.
Find the right wads. They're in the bigger groups of them though. Like there's fish all over, right?
Yeah.
But when you could tell the wads that are good. They're like almost in that circular or like oval shape.
Yeah, yes.
And there's a bunch of them.
And then when they're moving quick like that, they don't come up that broad as a return, because they were moving.
Yeah. Like there's a bunch of fish on the screen right now at like 70 feet, guys. And these fish, you can tell they're not as big just because the dots are not as big. They're kind of a smaller grouping of them. They're kind of spread out around that shad. And we've been throwing a lot of these groups, and a lot of them just are so small that they can't even get our bait. But when you find that right little wad of them, it goes down. They'll come up and look at your bait, like you can see all these fish here. They're all over my bait, and they won't.
Hey, you got line in your boat?
All too small to get it. I do, yeah.
Okay, cool. If I might need to retie it later here in a bit.
No problem.
All right, so I caught a fish. Now it's time to catch one on Dixie, a big on Dixie. It's one of those. Oh, dude, you see that dot?
Yeah, it's not a bass.
Dang, what is that?
That is something. That's
Freaking,
a
that's a
spoonbill.
state record. oh, that's a good group of them.
Oh yeah.
They might not be. That's a little better group.
Maybe 2-pounders.
Yeah.
The way they're stacked up, so those are definitely bass, and that's a wad of bass. That's,
Dude,
that's what we're
if you had an
looking for.
Alabama rig and if they want to eat that thing, let's see what happens.
Come on. One of you get it. Where are they? Come on.
Oh, those are good ones. That's a good one. Yeah. Need help?
Ah, just a little one. See, they weren't quite as big. I'll leave here. Just
Yeah, you go get. Yeah, you get in the boat.
leave them in there. Get in there and get another one. I'll let them swim back down. There you go.
All right.
Come on. Come on. One of you other ones grab it. Yeah, I could tell those were like 2-pounders compared to the ones that Jamie caught earlier. So you can start to kind of determine the size, guys, after a bit. Fortunately, this fish was actually big enough to eat my spunk shad, and you know, not big ones, but that's what the groups are looking like. So that's really good. We have a good sign now. We just need to find a group of like 5-pounders, and now we're in business. Well, Jimmy, that was a lot of fun. We found a little group of fish. There weren't that many wolf packs that had quality fish. There was a ton of little ones, and we were able to catch a few decent fish. Had a lot of bites, just not all the fish were really the size we're looking for. I was actually trying to throw a bait that was getting the small fish to not bite so that I gave the bigger fish a chance to eat. That's that core tackle 4/3/8 ounce tush with the Hog Farmer 5.5-inch spunk shad. Caught a couple on this, and had probably about like 20 bites on it. They, again, were just grabbing the tail, all like less than 12 inches. But you actually got a really quality fish on a unique bait, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so and I messed around with it earlier, saying just a little old school bait with new school kind of fishing technology, man. So this is the V&M Baits Little Hammer. It's a Lil George kind of imitator. Lil George is a bait, has been around for a long, long time. If you're an older guy watching this, you're probably like, I caught fish on that before you were born, Jimmy. And so it's something for me I learned 4 years ago down at Toledo Bend, actually. And it's something I brought into my arsenal with forward-facing sonar that I've kind of kept quiet, except if you go on a guide trip with me or forward-facing trip. As I've told you, it's been catching fish for us on Lake Hamilton. And here we are sharing about today, and we're throwing at these fish, you know, and I threw the big bait first, threw the big old giant flutter spoon, and then they just, I could tell they didn't want it. We're throwing different stuff. I threw the minnow at them, and I throw that minnow enough, when they don't come get it, I just put it down. I don't keep throwing it. And how they were reacting to this, I knew this had a chance. But there's small bait fish around.
For sure. I think that it was interesting because really the only baits they reacted to really well were that Lil George and then this tush with the spunk shad. You did catch a pretty decent one on the freeloader as well, kind of a similar profile style bait. And it seemed like that was kind of what they were wanting. They wanted the bait to be moving a little bit quicker, kind of, I was working mine pretty erratic, burning it, hopping it, and it would get a lot of attention. It's just, again, we weren't around the biggest fish in the lake, I don't think, but it's always good when you go out to a new lake, guys, we've never been here before, just to find an area with some bait fish with a concentration of fish. We had that nice flat with that creek channel and some rock down there, and it was just holding a bunch of those fish on that timber line. And what we're gonna try to do now is actually go out and fish a little bit deeper to try to catch some really big fish. I broke off one that was really big this morning, and we're gonna go try to film a video on that stuff. I was throwing a big 8-inch Sakamata shad in the tush hook, and yeah, it broke me off over a tree. So we think we have a plan for catching some bigger ones. One thing that was interesting too at the end of the day here is that the fish kind of almost disappeared out where we were fishing. Yeah,
and that's something I was telling John, like each lake's different. Like lakes I've been doing a lot of forward-facing trips on guide trips, whatever, they've been showing up later in the day to areas where here, we got here about 10 o'clock and we graphed them, showed you guys, caught a couple, they're gone. And now me and him are both kind of putting our heads together. We think they're either in that timber hanging out or they could be out here on this timber. That's just something that, like, I think if we got here first thing in the morning, we could have put about 18, 20 pounds probably together real quick.
For sure.
And just so those fish that were in those groups are now, we're gonna make that guess, maybe moved in these timber areas, and we're gonna go try to catch a giant now.
That's the plan. Let's get after it, Jimmy. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. We'll see you on the next one.